Welcome to the Security Policy presentation. My name is Christopher Richards, and today I'll be presenting our comprehensive security policy designed to enhance our defense in depth strategy. This security policy supports defense in depth by encompassing encryption, the AAA framework, and specific coding standards to mitigate risk and enhance security. Our goal is to implement multiple layers of security controls to protect against a wide range of threats, ensuring robust protection of sensitive data and systems. In our threats matrix, we have categorized coding standards based on their likelihood and priority. Standards such as data validation and sanitation, secure string handling, robust input validation, and secure logging practices are likely to occur and need high attention. High priority standards include strict data typing, parameterized queries and ORM usage, safe memory management, structured exception handling, and proper resource management. Low priority standards include use of assertions for debugging. Standards unlikely to happen again include strict data typing, use of assertions for debugging, structured exception handling, and proper resource management. Our security policy is based on 10 core security principles, each mapped to specific coding standards. These principles include validating input data with standards such as strict data typing, data validation and sanitization, and robust input validation. Heeding compiler warnings is essential and is covered by standards like strict data typing and the use of assertions for debugging. We architect and design for security policies as emphasized in standards for safe memory management and proper resource management. Keeping it simple is achieved through securing string handling. The principle of default deny is enforced with standards for parameterized queries and ORM usage. Adhering to the principle of least privilege involves structured exception handling. Sanitizing data sent to other systems is ensured by data validation and sanitization standards. Practicing defense in depth is covered by safe memory management. Effective quality assurance techniques are implemented through the use of assertions for debugging and securing logging practices. Finally, adopting a secure coding standard ensures that all of these principles are consistently applied. Our coding standards are ranked based on three key factors: severity, likelihood, and priority. Standards addressing more severe and unlikely vulnerabilities are given higher priority, ensuring that the most critical security issues are addressed first. Data validation and sanitization, secure string handling, and robust input validation are standards that are likely to occur. Safe memory management also falls into this category due to its importance in preventing critical issues. Parameterized queries and ORM usage, structured exception handling, and proper resource management are medium likelihood standards. Secure logging practices, although likely, fall into the necessary but less critical category compared to others. Standards such as strict data typing and use of assertions for debugging are less likely to be the source of critical issues but are still essential for a robust security posture. Our encryption policies are designed to protect its sensitive data at all stages. Encryption at rest ensures that all sensitive data stored within an organization's infrastructure, including databases, file systems, and backups, is encrypted using strong algorithms like AES-256. This protects data from unauthorized access in case of physical theft or unauthorized access to storage systems. Encryption in flight ensures that all data transmitted between systems, including internal and external communications, is encrypted using secure protocols like TLS SSL. This protects data from interception and eavesdropping during transmission. Encryption in use ensures that sensitive data remains protected even while being processed in memory, using technologies such as trusted execution environments or hardware security modules. The AAA framework, authentication, authorization, and accounting is essential for managing and securing user access. Authentication ensures that all users and systems are verified before accessing any resources, with multi-factor authentication adding an extra layer of security beyond traditional password-based methods. Authorization controls what an authenticated user or system is allowed to do, adhering to the principle of least privilege to limit access to only what is necessary. Accounting involves tracking and logging all user activities and system events to provide a comprehensive record for auditing and analysis, ensuring transparency and accountability within the system. The goal of the buffer overflow unit test is to verify that the process input method properly checks the length of the input and throws a runtime error exception if the input exceeds the buffer size. This prevents buffer overflow vulnerabilities. Additionally, these tests confirm that the method processes and displays the input correctly when the input size is within the buffer limit. On this slide, you will see an example of a buffer overflow unit test and its output. The buffer underflow unit test aims to validate that the access array element method throws an out-of-range exception when an index is outside of the valid range from 0 to 4. This ensures that buffer underflow and overflow vulnerabilities are prevented. Furthermore, this test verifies that the method returns the correct array element when a valid index is accessed without throwing exceptions. This slide demonstrates a buffer underflow unit test example and its corresponding output. The invalid input unit test ensures that the calculate sum method correctly handles invalid input by throwing an invalid argument exception when negative values are provided. Additionally, the test verifies that the method functions correctly and returns expected results when valid non-negative inputs are given. On this slide, you will see an example invalid input unit test with its corresponding output. The DevSecOps pipeline integrates security practices into the DevOps process to ensure continuous security throughout the software development lifecycle. This involves stages such as assess and plan, design, build, verify, and test, transition and health check, monitor and detect, respond, and maintain and stabilize. Each stage incorporates automated tools to enforce security policies and standards, ensuring a comprehensive and consistent security posture. The DevSecOps pipeline involves several stages, each with specific tools to ensure security. During the assess and plan stage, static analysis tools are used to assess the codebase for compliance with security standards. In the design stage, architectural review tools ensure design documents adhere to security policies. The build stage integrates CI tools like Jenkins with static analysis tools such as Clang, GCC, and PBS Studio to automate compliance checks. During the verify and test stage, tools like Valgrid, Address Sanitizer, and unit testing frameworks perform automated vulnerability scanning and compliance checks. In the transition and health check stage, penetration testing tools and configuration management tools like Ansible are employed for security configuration and testing. The monitor and detect stage deploys SIEM tools such as Splunk, Logarithm, and Elastic for continuous monitoring and log analysis. In the response stage, incident response tools and automated rollback scripts handle security issues. And finally, the maintain and stabilize stage regularly runs automated assessment and patch management using tools like PBS Studio and CPP Check to maintain security compliance. Implementing security practices involves weighing the problems, solutions, and risks associated with immediate or delayed implementation. Immediate implementation requires significant time and resources to integrate security tools and practices into the existing pipeline. However, it significantly reduces the risk of security incidents and long-term costs. Delayed implementation increases the risk of security breaches and vulnerabilities being exploited, but allows for resource allocation to be managed gradually. Our strategy may lack comprehensive real-time monitoring and incident response capabilities, so steps must be taken to integrate critical security tools and practices immediately. Phase the integration of less critical tools, provide ongoing training for development and operations teams, and continuously review and update security policies and practices to adapt to new threats. Our security policy currently has gaps that need addressing. Enhanced real-time monitoring and incident response capabilities are needed. We must ensure comprehensive coverage of all stages of the software development lifecycle by our security practices. Proper resource allocation for the integration of security tools and training is essential. Additionally, we need to establish a process for the continuous improvement of security policies and practices. To address these gaps, we should integrate advanced SIEM tools for real-time threat detection and response, broaden our security practices to cover all stages of the DevSecOps pipeline, ensure adequate resources are allocated for the integration of security tools and team training, and implement a regular review process for security policies to adapt to emerging threats and vulnerabilities. In conclusion, adopting and adhering to specific coding standards is crucial for preventing future problems. Standards such as strict data typing prevent type-related vulnerabilities and ensure data integrity. Data validation and sanitization prevent injection attacks and data corruption. Secure string handling avoids buffer overflows and other string-related vulnerabilities. Parameterized queries and ORM usage prevent SQL injection attacks. Safe memory management avoids memory leaks, overflows, and corruption. Using assertions for debugging ensures conditions hold true during development and debugging. Structured exception handling manages errors without exposing the system to broader security risks. Robust input validation ensures all inputs are validated to prevent overflows and other vulnerabilities. Proper resource management avoids resource leaks and ensures efficient resource handling. Secure logging practices protect sensitive information and logs and ensure comprehensive activity tracking. Adopting these standards will significantly enhance our security posture. The information and practices presented are supported by several authoritative sources. These include the OWASP Top 10 Project, NIST Special Publication 800-53 Revision 5, SonarQube documentation, Jenkins user documentation, PBS Studio documentation, Clang documentation, and GCC manual. These references provide detailed guidance and best practices for implementing robust security measures in software development.